sightings that have been occurring over the course of the past couple of years.
In the last 24 hours, police say unidentified drones were spotted near Denmark's main military base.
Let's dive right into the complete turn of events that have occurred till now. It all kicked off on the night of September 22nd, 2025, around 10 p.m., when air traffic controllers and airport security teams at Copenhagen Airport picked up several unidentified flying objects moving around the airport's airspace. Within minutes, operations came to a complete halt, with dozens of incoming flights that were rerouted. Several were canceled altogether, and even nearby air routes were affected. Authorities later confirmed that at least 2 or 3 large objects believed to be drones were spotted flying near the area, which they chose not to shoot down, considering the risks of damage to airport infrastructure, fuel depot, and planes. On top of that, they weren't entirely sure where the drones had come from or how many were still in the air. It didn't just stop there, as there were reports of similar sightings that were coming from Oslo Airport in Norway, which was also shut down as a precaution. Around 1 a.m. on September 23rd, flights gradually resumed after the unidentified aerial objects vanished as suddenly as they had appeared. However, authorities kept investigating the incident. After assessing how well the drones were operated by someone very capable with skill and tools, given their flight patterns, size, movement, etc., this was characterized as hybrid warfare.
Det var også gentaget, det Thomas har sagt, at vi har ikke oplysninger, der gør, at vi kan sætte navn på en aktør, men vi kan sige.
As Denmark's military and intelligence agencies, along with other EU nations, started looking into it, the drone situation escalated on the 24th September as drone sightings spread to multiple airports, with Aalborg, Billund, Sønderborg, Esbjerg, and Skridstrup airports seeing incursions. The patterns of the drone flight behavior were similar to those seen earlier over Copenhagen. The drone activity lasted about 3 hours. Police said that after those hours, the drones left the airspace around Aalborg, and the same followed on the 25th to 29th of September, with drones making on and off sightings to Billund Airport, Denmark's second largest to Kastrup, and multiple other military air bases.
Jose, in the last 24 hours, police say unidentified drones were spotted near Denmark's main military base.
The government characterized these incursions as a hybrid attack targeting critical infrastructure, aiming to create fear and provoke a reaction. With the ongoing war in Eastern Europe, many in Denmark and observers in Europe believed Russia to be the likely suspect.
First of all, I have no real idea about who these drones really belong to. And I'm not sure whether it's a Russian attack, which seems to be the popular version of the story.
Especially in light of similar drone and airspace incursions over multiple EU nations like Poland, Romania, and Estonia. However, others believed this could have a link with UFO and/or extraterrestrial, especially several similar incidents that followed. Like in the skies of Helsinki, Finland, a sighting of an unidentified flying object was made in the broad daylight of the 30th of July 2025, around 1 p.m. It showed an object that looked very similar to the airships from the 1900s. The source who passed by shared that it shapeshifted as he got closer to it, and it was far off in the countryside to be in range of the usual drone operator. And another incident that was reported in Mexico on July 28th, where several dozen unknown white objects or drones were spotted hovering high in the sky. Glaring UAP.
You don't see what it is? It'll be larger.
Just as Denmark's drones and other mysterious flying objects have been seen recently, this one appeared close to an airport in Bathurst, Canada, on August 28, 2025, at 3:13 a.m. local time. A couple who, while taking notice of an unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP, that appeared in the lower orbit of the sky with a very bright glare of light.
That's giving off a lot of light.
It looked to be spinning around endlessly, almost as if it were from a flying object, not to mention how bright the light is at the source. The camera stopped recording abruptly, but only seconds before this phenomenon started and ended.
It just looks like a ball. Come see it on my phone.
Bright orb.
It's crazy. My God, look at it.
In New Jersey, back in December 2024, a late-night visit to a public park turned into something unforgettable. A very bright orb appeared in the sky and was making rounds around that area while flashing and blinking all over the place. With it being completely soundless and bright, this crosses off many possibilities from the list, even a UFO. Considering its movement, it almost seemed like a flare signaling something or someone. If not, it could be some kind of a scouting drone that may have been scanning the area.
I had to go run in and get my camera. Nobody was gonna believe me.
Speeding light phenomenon. A strange phenomenon was captured at night when bright lights were seen darting rapidly behind thick, dark clouds. The sky was overcast, but the lights moved with intense speed and force, zipping in sharp patterns and vanishing before suddenly reappearing again. Some clips even showed faint bursts of light, as if something was happening just out of sight. Onlookers were left divided. Some believed it looked like some kind of aerial combat, while others thought it was something far more mysterious. To this day, the question remains unanswered.
What the? That's what it is.
Giza orbs. On the night of April 2nd, 2025, a passing bystander next to the Giza pyramids noticed 3 brightly glowing orbs that appeared from the other side of the pyramids. Seeing how immediately they appeared, almost looked like they had come out from within the pyramid. The glowing orbs started hovering over as if this was the awakening of some ancient secrets. Later in the clip, a 4th orb makes an appearance as they are all seen in the sky in pairs. The recorder attempted to get a closer view, but couldn't do so as the touring hours had ended for the day. Could it be that these objects were working on something that is hidden in the pyramids that we have yet to discover? Glowing object.
It's in the shape of a jelly bean, but the interior was like plasma. It was just going like this, you know.
In the night sky of Oklahoma City, a local homeowner, Chris Frederick, on January 25th, 2025, made an unusual sky sighting of an object in his driveway. It was moving erratically and was in the shape of a jelly bean. To get a better look at it, he decided to use his drone and attempted to match the altitude while getting closer, but started to face technical issues. At first, his drone wouldn't take off due to electromagnetic interference.
My controller talks to me, and it said, unable to take off, electromagnetic interference.
And when it did, after several attempts, he only managed to get pictures taken like 400 meters in the sky, when the object was approximately 1,500 meters high in the sky before his battery prematurely ran out, with images showing it to be a kind of plasma.
As soon as I took those 3 pics, my controller said, a low battery, return to home.
Mysterious flying objects. Watch what appeared in the skies of San Antonio. On May 16th, 2022, people spotted a strange, bright green light above them. Many thought they were about to see a meteor shower, but they were wrong. 3 glowing objects were hovering high overhead. Unlike a meteor, these objects drifted slowly across the sky in perfect formation. The footage ends before showing what happened next, but the uploader claimed the objects eventually disappeared into orbit. Many believed they came from outer space. But strangely, the incident never reached local news. It seemed like authorities didn't want to reveal what they were. Layer of light. A boat owner off the coast of Vancouver, Canada, got to witness a weird phenomenon in the sky. The footage taken on the 16th of April, 2025, shows a very long and curved signature of light that appeared, brushing its way through the sky. To make sense of the incident, many wild theories emerged, but one of the most persistent and logical that stuck around was that this was a massive cloaked UFO with a glowing outline. This would explain the layer of the light as well as its curved nature. Bright spotlight. Out of all the strange sightings and unexplained events, it's hard not to believe something exists beyond our reality. Take a look at this clip. A man noticed a bright, unusual light glowing in the night sky. It looked almost like someone was pointing a giant spotlight from above. Locals who saw it were both shocked and puzzled. Some guessed it might be a jet or some other aircraft on patrol. But jets don't cast spotlights like that. With no visible craft or exhaust trail, it seemed like only a light or maybe a hidden craft searching for something on the ground. Mysterious squad.
En el cielo, pues algo raro pasaba en los cielos de Estados Unidos.
One concerning incident that occurred in the skies of Phoenix, Arizona, on the eve of the 17th of August, 2025, that till now has left viewers puzzled. It all started when several lighted dots in the sky were initially dismissed as stars, until they grew bigger, brighter, and began to move around in the sky. They all started to move around in seemingly random directions at a pace that only got faster with every passing moment. In seconds, another development followed in the sky where a giant lighted signature appeared in the sky, best described as a portal opening. At that point, all the lighted dots came in line and formed a disciplined formation before disappearing in a heartbeat.
Impresionante. Nunca en mi vida he visto algo parecido.
Bright Fairy. A passenger aboard a cruise ship noticed something strange in the night sky and quickly began recording. At first, he thought it was just his imagination, but the camera picked it up too. A glowing, fairy-like figure hovered unusually close to the ship, its soft light shimmering in the dark. Moments later, a long string of lights appeared behind it, twisting and shifting in impossible ways. It wasn't a drone show. And it wasn't anything natural. Nobody on the ship could make sense of what they were seeing. The video spread quickly online, but the mystery remained. Whatever it was, it left everyone puzzled. Black sphere.
What the is that? I know, but I videotaped it. It's like a ball or something.
A pickup truck driver in San Diego, California, while heading home after shopping on August 29th, 2025, noticed a mysterious flying ball that appeared to be hovering several meters from the ground.
Yeah, there's something different out there. It's a ball.
It had no visible lights and seemed to be solid black. Onlookers were quick to call it a black sphere that remained completely still in the air, appearing to defy gravity. Unlike typical glowing orbs, this one didn't shine at all and looked more like some kind of hidden surveillance drone.
Whatever it is, that big, dog. Yeah, it's just like suspended. That is big. Now, imagine how big it is right up there.
Glowing disc. A man had been spotting something strange in the sky for a while, and this time he finally captured it on camera. At around 6:30 in the evening in Titusville, Florida, a worker near the Space Coast industrial site noticed a glowing object overhead. It looked like a smooth, flat disc gliding silently through the air. It appeared that the disc itself was giving off that mysterious glow. In the video description, he explained he had seen the same thing twice before at the same time, but never filmed it. This time, he quickly pulled out his phone. He felt that whatever it was, it kept returning to that spot for a reason. Descended saucer. A woman in Barcelona was driving to drop off her friend at her house when they both saw a large flying object that had descended onto the road, blocking their way. The clip, dated July 16th, 2025, shows a hovering craft that is only partially visible due to its red lights at the bottom. Judging by all the elements of randomness, it could only be best described as a UFO hovering. Not sure of its intentions or what might happen next, she decided to pull over and wait for it to leave. Unidentified crashing.
Then I look up here to the sky, I see something falling down, so I pulled out my phone and I zoomed in and it was right about there.
A woman from Pembroke, Massachusetts filmed a strange object falling from the sky near her home on June 27th, 2025. Colleen McCormick shared a video online that soon went viral on YouTube. While she was poolside in her backyard, noticed the object coming down fast that had a very unusual and unfamiliar shape and seemed to have been caught on fire and was soundless. It vanished from her view that she was expecting to hear a crash that never followed after. She raced to the front door of her house to investigate what had happened to it, but it had disappeared out of thin air.
It seemed it was coming down so fast, it was just it knows what it's doing, it just goes like that. I don't know, it's weird.
Blazing craft. In Seoul, on July 25th, 2025, a bright, glowing object was seen moving back and forth in the sky above Baekrayon Mountain in Hongundong for about 5 minutes. A shocked local caught the whole thing on video. At first, he thought it might be a meteor, or maybe even a missile with a faulty guidance system, but it was ruled out after the Seoul Air Force denied any weapons testing or launches on that day. It kept on moving in circles until it eventually disappeared in the cloudy sky. Moving glow. This very strange bright sighting was made in the overhead sky of Chicago, Illinois, on June 24th. An unknown glowing ball-shaped object appeared high in the sky, which was initially mistaken to be a moon. From its size, extremely bright light, and that it was moving fast, caught every bystander's attention, as the possibility of it being a moon got ruled out, while most rumors circulating about it were that it was a UFO or an orb. Some of the witnesses believed it to be a moving, open portal high in the sky. Hovering orbs. What initially was passed away by most to be part of the antenna until these started to move. On October 1st, 2025, pedestrians in downtown St. Petersburg, Russia, noticed 3 large black orbs that descended on a communications tower in a formation on top of a 3-star hotel. Standing in a triangular formation, these orbs remained stationary for several minutes, almost as if they were going to work together to do something very dramatic, like open up a portal or something. All that they did was break their formation and start coming together before the clip ended. Low-flying UFO.
Oh, que porra é essa?
This has to be one of the closest that anyone got to a UFO and lived to tell the tale. On September 23rd, 2025, a Latino trucker was driving down a countryside road on his way to Missoula, Montana. It was raining heavily, and the road was dark and empty when he suddenly saw a bright light ahead. At first, he thought it was another truck coming from the opposite direction, but as he got closer, he realized it was something else. A large object hovering just above the ground that looked exactly like a UFO. He managed to pass by it without running into a collision. With a recording dash cam, he was able to capture the unbelievable sighting, which was later shared on the internet.
Oh, que porra é essa?
Alien spacecraft. On January 22nd, 2022, a resident in Guatemala, Central America, first heard a deep rumbling sound coming from the sky. Then suddenly, 3 glowing lights appeared above his neighborhood. At first, he assumed these were just ordinary stars, but soon realized the lights were connected to a single triangular craft. The object wasn't moving or flying off, it hovered silently over the city. Locals described a strange feeling, as if something intelligent was watching them from above. The craft stayed there the entire night, and even though it didn't return the next day, many couldn't shake the eerie feeling of being watched. Lighted anomaly. This is one of those kinds of sightings that you find it troubling to explain in words. A man was taking a walk in the park in Orlando, Florida, when he noticed this unknown lighted thing in the sky that caught his attention. It looked nothing like any known man-made craft or even a UFO, as it had a very random shape and nature. It was free floating in the sky and moving away from him, gradually making it harder to take a good look at. After it eventually disappeared, the short recording was later shared online in the hope of some answers. Giant silver ball. A family that was on a road trip from Acapulco to Monterrey City in Mexico on the 3rd of August, 2025. When on the way, they noticed a very large, silver-colored spherical object. It remained suspended throughout the duration of the video, which made it impossible to understand its make and nature, or if this was some UFO or just another unexplained phenomenon in the sky. With the cloudy sky and the area being mountainous, it was hard to tell if this gigantic object or craft was on the ground or still in the sky. Brightly lighted. The only thing that is clear here is that this is the outline of something not known yet. During a vacation to Aveiro, Portugal, a hotel guest noticed a brightly lit shape in the sky above the seawater. It could only be best described to be in the shape of an inverse isosceles trapezoid. The shape made it look like it was some flying object in the sky, but at the same time, the light intensity coming out from it made the structure look visibly hollow. Then again, with no noticeable movement, it was hard to tell its nature. Unknown phenomenon. Clearly, this isn't something that you get to see happening naturally. On 6th May 2025, at 5:33 p.m. local time in Villeta, Paraguay, a resident started recording a video where something in the sky or far-off distance seemed to be boiling up. The sky was blinking with bright, visible flashes. According to the source, it gave off the feeling of a high-energy beam. Unclear if it was man-made or natural, but something imminent seemed about to occur. By the end of the clip, it suddenly stopped, and no additional information from the source, leaving what happened next a mystery. Skyborne mystery. Back in May 2024, a woman's flight from Toronto, Billy Bishop to Boston became the scene of a strange sighting, a mysterious space creature with long, spiky tentacles. The creature flew alongside the plane at high altitude and speed, something no known living thing or machine could do. What caught everyone's eye were its stiff, spiky tentacles, unlike the soft, flexible ones found in sea animals. Passengers noted how it moved silently, with no turbulence or noise, as if fully in control. Some believe it was an unknown life form built for high-altitude flight, while others saw it as proof of an alien built for interstellar travel. Unidentified pod. Quebec City became the site of an escaped pod-like unidentified flying object that seemed to descend from the sky on November 20th, 2024. It was recorded by a security camera, which captured the small craft entering the frame from above and hovering close to the ground late at night near parked cars on the street. It almost seemed like an escape pod from a much larger UFO, possibly sent to scout the area or carrying a survivor. Through the 6-minute-long duration of the video, the pod never stopped, and nothing emerged from within it. Glowing tangos. A London driver was left shocked in August 2023 after witnessing a strange event in the night sky. What started as a few glowing dots suddenly multiplied and grew much larger. As the lights moved closer to the ground, their blinding brightness made it impossible to see their shape. The driver, along with many others who may have seen it, was stunned by the eerie display. The incident quickly fueled wild speculation about the object's origin and purpose, with some fearing they could pose a serious threat. Shiny podcrafts.
Whoa. What the hell?
A Kansas farmer recently shared a strange sighting he experienced on his property. Several bright lights were spotted moving in a triangular formation near the moon. Because of the cloudy weather, the farmer couldn't clearly make out what they were. The sighting has since sparked interest and debate among locals and online. Some believe it may have been one large craft, while others think it was 3 smaller pods flying together. The farmer had been smoking outside his barn when he noticed the glowing lights slowly moving, but the poor visibility made it impossible to see more details.
Whoa.
Bizarre aerial object. Here's one of the most astonishing aerial sightings ever caught on camera. In Pacentro, Italy, tourists first noticed a glowing spot in the sky. At first, they thought a star had suddenly become so bright it was outshining the sun. But soon, they realized it wasn't a star at all. It was a strange wheel spinning in the same spot. It looked like some kind of alien machine, and the star-like glow came from its center. The bizarre object remained there, spinning for 4 hours straight before disappearing, leaving everyone convinced it was some sort of alien craft. Blue beam. This very strange blue beam of light all of a sudden appeared in Minsk, Belarus on January 25, 2025, gathering the attention of families that were going about their day. The beam seemed to shoot straight out of the clouds, pointing towards space. Within seconds, things became even stranger when an unknown object or figure was seen moving through the beam, then suddenly stopping right in the middle of it. Some began to wonder if this was some kind of UFO spotlight, either pulling something in or projecting something out. Mysterious floating craft. In Nevada, a man recorded a strange aircraft unlike anything he had ever seen. It was pitch black with a flat body, and the strangest thing was how it remained perfectly still in midair. At first, he thought it might be a trick of the eyes, maybe something like the Fata Morgana illusion at sea, where objects seem to float, but this wasn't any kind of mirage. Normal aircraft can't just hover motionless without rotors or steady movement to create lift, so he couldn't explain what he was seeing. In the end, he became convinced it had to be some kind of otherworldly technology. UFO sighting. On June 13, 2023, a group of workers in Las Vegas made a 911 call claiming they had just seen a UFO up close. Around the same time, a police body camera captured a bright blue streak flashing across the night sky. The American Meteor Society later confirmed that people across Nevada, Utah, and Eastern California had also reported witnessing the flash. UFOs